Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Happy Saturday. Good morning. Lots of people coming in this morning. Everybody's getting their mics and cameras the way they want them. All right.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Eric.
Good morning, Carol.
Back home.
Back home. I was just going to ask, how does it feel to be back in Florida? I'm sure you enjoyed your time in Michigan for sure.
Feels great. We had a wonderful time in Michigan, but boy, oh boy, you can't beat the Florida sun.
Oh, it looks gorgeous there, as it always does. Palm
For sure.
trees and blue skies in the background. Gotta love it.
Yep, I do.
I'll bet. Especially coming from originally from Michigan, where you have the compare and contrast factor.
Yeah, for sure. We had a particularly beautiful night last night. We went down to Venice Beach, and they do every week they have is it called a praise and worship at sunset, and it's just a gorgeous time. And so we all gathered together an hour before sunset, and then when the sun is just going down, we sing a beautiful song, and it's quite gorgeous. And I took a video of it last night because it was just really pretty. So anyway,
Wow.
Yeah, nice.
Sounds wonderful. I've heard you mention about that event. It sounds like it's a weekly event, and it sounds just terrific on all aspects.
Amen to that. I agree.
Can you guys hear me okay? I scrapped my earphones today. Can you hear me all right?
Yes.
I actually can hear you good. Maybe even better than normal. Good morning, Erica. Erica's joined us here.
Good morning.
Morning, Erica.
Morning, Erica.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen.
And guys, I am riding a bike. So this is going to be fun. We have a Rails to Trail system here. And I don't know if you noticed it, but the last week, I was kind of swatting around my head quite a bit. So there's a fair amount of deer flies. And so I've got the bike. So I'm going to try to outrun them.
Good luck with
run into them.
Got the bike and the rally cap going to protect the back of my head there, but it's actually a very gorgeous trail here. And Emily and I, you can actually bike from, I don't know how far it goes, but literally from Hart to Muskegon would be probably well in excess of 30, maybe 50 miles.
Wow.
So of course you don't have to commit to that full thing. But we've done from Whitehall to Muskegon and back, which you better pack your water on that one, because it's quite a
Get a snack.
So, well, anyhow, I think we've got a number of people in here, and we are underway. So, Carol, I just caught your message, by the way, just before I was jumping on here. So I heard the gist of it, and thank you so much. We'll circle back to that as soon as I get off the Zoom here. So, hey, just going around the horn a bit here on anybody that wants to pipe in on their week, or gosh, last week we did a lot of great tips and tricks. We got some snippets and recordings out of that, and I was like, wow, that was power packed. There was a lot of good stuff there. So if anybody wants to jump in first, or actually, Carol, since we missed you last week, you had some connectivity issues, and in the different environment, but I know you had some great family time and also some experiences that you thought might be valuable to share. So if I can kick it over to you, feel free to let us know what's on your mind.
Well, I certainly will. Well, thank you, Eric, and thank you for graciously continuing on. The connectivity, I think I got solved, but I think part of it was just being out of the signal. But I think also it was a blessing because my daughter-in-law, she wasn't comfortable getting on the call, was about 5 minutes behind me. So we connected up and ended up putting 16,000 steps on and having a great mother-in-law, daughter-in-law exchange. It was really nice. So that was good. But anyway, it was an insightful week for me. And I was sharing a little bit with Eric about my granddaughter, who she and her wonderful husband are relatively new parents. Shepherd, their son, is 8 months old. And so it was, he's in a period now where he's starting on solid foods. Now, to give you a little background, Jordan and Thomas, our granddaughter and her husband, were really, really good during the pregnancy, taking our, at that time, well-Sona Brain Health, now advanced omegas, and understanding the importance of those fish oils in the brain development of little Shepherd. And she continues to take those while she's nursing, well, hopefully continually. But what was interesting is the things that she learned about the importance of omega. And so we go over to her house the other night. Well, actually, even before that, when she came over to my daughter-in-law's house and my son's house. So she brings over a little smoothie. Now, the smoothie is a concoction of her breast milk, avocados, and blueberries. And little Shepherd was guzzling down he'll be 8 months on July 3rd, guzzling down this stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my goodness, the palate, I think there was omegas, avocados in there. The palate, just getting that palate used to those types of foods that most people don't even eat until they're in their adulthood. And here he is at 8 months, sucking the stuff down, loving it out of a little cup. Good morning. And hi. And so then a couple of nights later, we go over there and it's dinner time. And so here's little Shepherd in his high chair and he's eating, get this, sardines. No, 8 months old. I didn't feed my kids sardines. I think they were on pablum and some kind of other stuff. Anyway, so he's eating sardines. He's eating avocados with his fingers and unsweetened organic Greek yogurt. Now, I don't know how many of you have tried Greek yogurt, but it has a little pungent tartness to it. He's sucking that stuff down. He's eating it and he's having a blast. And I thought to myself, wow, I wanted to bring that up to you because I think a couple of weeks ago, it was just before we left, and I was commenting, good morning, I was commenting about moms and how important it is to get to the moms to re-educate or educate properly the young children coming up, because we have gotten so far off the track in healthy eating, and in particular with our children, that now the statistics are that children are getting type 2 diabetes at 3 years old. They're getting dementia at 30 years old, or Alzheimer's. And this is clearly a link to the poor diets that many children are getting. And so I said to Jordan, I'm going to tell your story because you need to really get moms and dads alert to what you're doing with Shepherd and teach them. You can start like a little consulting with new moms on you know, um, anyway, it was pretty interesting, and it tied right in with a documentary I'm going to send over, and it's called The Pyramid Scheme. And of course, we all are familiar with the term pyramid scheme, but this is all about the food pyramid. And it was very interesting on how we got where we got and where we are today. And I won't go into it because I don't want to take the others' time, but I would strongly urge you to watch it and then also take some notes on it, because I think a lot of that type of thing is what we're dealing with and how we can counteract that. And I can't think of a better program to counteract that with and get on the right track ourselves, but also teach our children and our grandchildren that proper way of eating. So I just wanted to share that story.
That's great. Carol, the documentary that you mentioned, is that on YouTube, or what venue is that on?
Yes, it's a YouTube, and I'll shoot it over to you, Eric.
Okay.
And what's nice about those is when you watch that, then you end up with a whole string of very interesting stuff. But I found that one particularly interesting because it hit a lot on the carbs, the healthy fats, which now HealthPointe in Network 21 is addressing very, very positively. And so it addresses all of those issues.
Right. Yeah. I'm imagining it's probably pretty similar to a documentary that I believe I sent over to you, Carol. I know, Erica, I just sent that to you yesterday, but it's narrated by Dr. Mark Hyman, and it's called Fat Fiction.
Yes.
And really well done. So yeah, Carol, looking forward to that. And wow, Shepherd, what a great, nutritious early months of his life. And that is really, really awesome. So yeah, starting them young. He's got, with those omegas, he's Harvard bound for sure. Gonna have some serious wattage there with the DHA.
Well, what's so funny is for those of you that were on some of our earlier walk and talks, we talked about a program that my daughter-in-law followed called Elimination Communication. And it's where a child virtually has no dirty diapers, really no wet diapers for the most part, right from the day one. And when they came down and visited us, I was amazed, but she just knew. He gave her a signal, and she put him on the little pot, and there was not a dirty diaper in the week that they were here. So I'm not bragging on I am bragging on my granddaughter, but the point is that if we can catch these young moms, we can change a generation from the way they were maybe brought up, and they're thinking of how much they can help those children control, the habits that they create, not try to remake them later. So,
yeah, that's so sure for sure. Starting them young, and for those of us that are just a little bit more mature, we'll call it, not older, a little bit more mature, we'll get our eating and activity between the rails as well. Speaking of between the rails, I will occasionally reverse my camera here. Again, I'm riding my bike, and so I just passed a deer right alongside the trail, so I reversed my camera on there, and you're kind of stealth mode in the bike, and I came really close to it. It was really fun. So hey, going around the horn, who do we've got in here? Let me just kind of go through some names here. First of all, we've got Kathy, we've got Carol, of course. We just heard from Carol. We've got Linda, we've got Erica, We've got David, and it looks like David is with his lovely wife, Chris. We've got Jennifer, we've got Greg, we've got Hank, we've got Larry, we've got Linda Vest, and we have Emily. So quite a crowd here. This is awesome. Let's see. David and Chris, I don't know if you're unmuted, but if you'd like to go next. And Chris in particular, I don't know if this can be woven into conversation, but as Carol knows, because I shared with her someone that I just had an update. You know, when you're coaching, a lot of it is just micro coaching, little check-ins, but then if you're not able to get together in person, you can do a Zoom. And I've got a young man that is on his track on a goal to lose 100 pounds. Okay, so he's quite heavy, and he is day 20 and is 17.2 pounds down. But we were talking about his goals and so forth. And in the back of my mind, you know who I was thinking of, right? David and Chris. I was thinking of Chris, because how long has she had? How much was it that she lost, and how many years has it been?
Okay. She followed the program the way I explained it to her and so she lost like 20 pounds the first year on Dave Dasso's understanding of HealthPointe a long time ago. And then when she actually listened to Carol, and Carol was helping her, then she lost like 50 pounds the next year, and then like another then like another 30 the following year. And so and she's kept that, she's maintained the program and been on maintenance now for 10 plus years. And so your gentleman is losing the weight way faster than she did. So he's getting a much better feedback, because he's actually has a really good coach who's showing him the right way to do things.
Hey, you help Chris get started. That's the most important step, David. So give yourself a huge dose of credit. So, but yeah, she's, got such a great story. I mean, 100 plus pounds and maintaining for now over a decade. So, wow.
And one more piece of that my observation is that, she doesn't journal. She journaled for more than 5 years. And right now, she doesn't journal as hard as she did, but she does record everything she eats every day. She records her weight in the morning, how many steps she did in a day, and what her weight is at night. So she still monitors it, documents it. And there's something about writing it down that helps you lock it into your brain.
For sure.
You tell
for
Chris
sure.
how proud we are of her. We are super, super proud of not only her losing the weight, but the longevity of keeping it off, which is the key in HealthPointe.
Yes, for sure. So, wow. And Carol, on David's point about continuing to do your own, records and noting it daily, I think I've recalled you mentioning that, you've gone through a lot of HealthPointe binders as well, or whatever method that you use as well, that you've been so long in lifetime maintenance as well.
Yeah, I think that's really key. Well, it's key for me anyway, to be accountable to myself. And yeah, I weigh myself every day. I work with that tinnitus scale, which I think you're all familiar with, and it gives you all the readings of your visceral fat, your metabolism, just a lot of readings that are important for you to know along the years. And that really helps me. I do that every single day. I record my steps every day. And it's kind of fun to go back and see how really stable you can keep yourself. I would say within 5 pounds, a low 5 pounds, and then up 5 pounds, but keeping in that region of 5 pound difference for years and years and years is, just really key with the HealthPointe program and the real change in your taste buds. It just changes the things you desire. And we're not crazy, like you aren't crazy, Eric. We go, we travel. I had pizza once this last week. Last night we had ice cream, but I didn't have a chocolate volcano. I had an ice cream. The rest of the day I ate clean. So it's those kinds of things. We're not crazy people. We have just been people that have adjusted our habits. And boy, there's habits. Like you aren't crazy, Eric. We go, we travel. I had pizza once this last week. Last night we had ice cream, but I didn't have a chocolate volcano. I had an ice cream. The rest of the day I ate clean. So it's those kinds of things. We're not crazy people. We have just been people that have adjusted our habits. And boy, there's the word, huh?
Yes. Healthy habits for sure. Well, yeah,
So-
and I do the same thing. We do the WWW, right? You wait,
Yep.
you wait, you weigh, you weigh. And for me, the easiest thing is I have a little spreadsheet app. It's just a Google Sheet app that I just put it on my main screen on my phone. It's just very easy for me to tap on that and log that. And actually, that's how I do that with everyone that I coach as well. As they check in, I just tap on that and log it in. But there's something powerful about that. We're hearing it here from David and Chris, from Carol, myself. So powerful.
Eric, can I cut in here before you get to the other folks and stuff?
Sure.
I promise I'll keep quiet then. But I really wanted to edify you because I was listening to your Zoom with Dylan this morning. And what was amazing to me, I was really listening between the lines and how well Dylan understood the program. But the reason he understood the program, and you were asking him about the add more food or metabolic adjustment days and what they were for, you were really asking him questions to understand what his understanding level was. And that was so key. And I think you were always very uplifting and just really telling him what a great job he was doing. But in between asking questions, making sure he was on the right track, and then praising him and how well a student he is becoming, but it's because of your leadership. So it was a thing that I really think the whole group needs to hear is how important that coach is. And in particular with Dylan, because he has a fair amount of weight to lose, as many people do when they come on the program, and how he understands what he's doing and why he's doing it. So Eric, kudos to you for being a great coach, and Dylan being a great student and really following. He'll succeed, no question about it.
So Eric,
Thanks, Carol. Yes.
so you took me a little, this is one of the few times I actually have come on board with something to say. So you took me off target. So I'm going to kind of stay within your stream, but deviate a bit. And so I often edify Chris of her longevity of maintaining on the program. I edify Kathy and her 10,000 steps for more than a year every day. That's amazing. I edify Larry as somebody who's been on the maintenance program. And Larry, you may not know this about Larry, but Larry does like to party every once in a while. And so he puts on those 5 pounds Carol was talking about, but then he knows what to do to get back down to the weight that he wants to be at.
David, you tell all my secrets.
Larry, you're my kind of guy.
Amen.
But my situation this past week was, as I walked, I intentionally connected with a man, and I was talking with him, and I was able to drift the conversation into wellness. And then he threw me a curveball that I wasn't able to handle. And what it was, he told me that his wife was a nurse and that she's on insulin. And so she's on this strict whatever. And so I immediately then set up a Zoom message with Greg Pierce. And so this is a message, I'm almost embarrassed because I've known Greg a long time and I didn't know this story from Greg. And so I asked him, because I know he's on insulin, and I asked him about his journey with HealthPointe being on insulin. And so one of the things he shared with me was, if you're on insulin, it's really important that you let your doctor know that you're starting the HealthPointe program. Because he said, you're now, going into this healthy lifestyle, and you're on a low carb program. And if you change that habit, carbs turn to sugars. And so your sugars are going to go down. And he said when he started the program that he was taking 45 units of insulin. And then he went into hypoglycemic problems and had to go back and see his doctor because all of a sudden he just naturally had less sugar in his body. And so when he saw his doctor reset him at 20 milligrams. Whoa. And then told him to check his sugar regularly. And I think if it was between 100 and 140, and if it was over 140, to add 5 more units of insulin. And here's the best part of his story. He now is on 20, went from 45 to 25. And for nearly 4 years, his sugar has been extremely stable as he maintains his lifestyle with the HealthPointe approach. And so I just wanted to thank Greg publicly, because I now have a tool that I can help people who are actually on insulin, because I really didn't understand that part of it.
Yeah. Wow. That's terrific. And Greg, you're on here. So as we go around the horn, well, in fact, let's go ahead, Greg, if you care to, and we'll go Greg, and then Kathy, and then Erica. So yeah, Greg, if you want to share, go ahead and hop on here.
Was I pretty accurate, Greg?
Yes, and I believe that I have shared that with most of the people in the group here prior. So, but
and I missed it. I apologize.
Well, that's okay.
I missed it too.
So did I.
Well, and I just I'm still maintaining, keeping the sugar under control, and so everything has been going well for me, and it's another case where I've been on for many years, and it's just kind of like I also don't have any desire really for all of the sweets and the things that I might have wanted way back when. It's just like not a habit now, and if we can just kind of once you get kind of past that to where you're not used to having some of those other things, why I don't even miss them. So anyway,
that's great. What a great benefit and a testament to the program.
And Gregory, how much weight did you lose? If I remember, it was about 25.
I think it was 25, 30, something like that. I mean,
yeah,
I was up
great.
Maybe even more than that, because I was right around 200 and got down to 160. So
fantastic, wow. Greg. Great story. And I apologize for not knowing your story.
Hey, the wonderful thing about HealthPointe is somebody just follows the program, whether somebody knows the nuances of their story or not, it works anyways when the person behind it puts in the effort. So, but it is great to hear the rest of your story, Greg, and what a great outcome. I mean, morning, to have that improvements. Your what would be broadly categorized as your metabolic health is immensely improved. When you go from 200 to 160, when you drop your units of insulin down 50%, that's just dialing in all kinds of biology for your health. So thank you for sharing that. Kathy, and then Erica.
Okay, good morning, everybody. So today is 1 year and 92 days going forward. So I'm almost at that 100-day, year and 100-day mark. So, and I don't think Flair is going to be able to join us today. She's up north, but I am happy to say that she really enjoyed being with us last Saturday. And she had texted me on Tuesday and was like, "Hey, are you in the office?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Okay, I want to talk." So we set things up and we ordered her kit, and she is definitely joining our HealthPointe community officially as a HealthPointe member. She's very excited. So she didn't know, she was hoping she could get on this morning. She didn't know if she'd have connectivity or not. So she said she would try. But so that's my exciting thing. Because then she said to me, she said, "Yep." She said, "I'm ready to do this." And she said, "I'm going to be your first RISA success story."
That's
and I was like, "Oh, wow. Okay, cool." Because she said, she goes, does anybody else at RISA doing this?" And I said, "No." And I said, "I had somebody that started, but she moved on, and she's like, "Okay, I'm going to be your first RISA success story." So I said, "Okay." So it was, it was pretty cool. I'm really excited. I've been getting to know her better. Like, she started at RISA, a week before the pandemic hit. And so I met her, and then we were all shut down. So, and then we actually ended up collaborating together because she's one of the managers in our events department. So there was some new software. My manager put me on a team to help with the software. So I got to know her better. And now I've just gotten to know her better, more personally. And I'm really excited to be coaching her and working with her and helping her on her journey. And she's also hopeful that she's like, her husband's not ready to do it, but he was like, "Well, just tell me what I got to cook and I'll do it." So she's like, at least he's open to supporting me. So, and it was interesting because she said, when in listening to Ben Physics audio, she said, when he said, "Sweet talk your spouse," she's like, "I'm going to try to talk to my husband because I know that guy in that video said that would be a good thing to do." So, the videos obviously do have some points to them and, can be helpful. So I always start with Ben's video. If I have anybody that expresses the littlest interest, I'm like, "Here, watch this 11-minute video. This will give you a good idea if this is something you want to go into further." And when she mentioned it, I was like, "Oh, okay. Yeah, good." Yeah. So really excited to be able to help her. And I know, she'll definitely be on next Saturday if she can be, but yeah.
Well, she's blessed to have a great coach.
Thank you.
You're going to do awesome.
Yes.
Like I said, I'm really looking forward to it,
The audio that I think she would enjoy is HealthPointe, doing HealthPointe as a couple. It's a panel of couples. That would be a nice one. I think she would enjoy. And maybe even
thinking about that too. Yeah, I was thinking about that too. Because afterward, when we talked and she said she wanted to get on board, I said, "Have you watched the video that I sent you, Carol, your presentation video?" And she's like, "No, I haven't had a chance to, but I've heard enough and I know I need to do this." So she said, "Send me that again though." So I did. And she was watching and her husband caught snippets here and there, so there's a little bit of an interest there with him. So, that's cool. So hopefully, it can, grow into more and, support both of them. So, and then she surprised me because on Thursday she texted, she's like, "Are you in the office?" And I said, "Yeah." She goes, "Want to walk and talk at 11:30? So she knows my lunch is 11 to 12.
Morning.
So we met on the second floor where I'm up on the third and she's on the first. So we met up on the second floor lobby and we walked the lobby. We're walking back and forth talking, and there were not many people around. because there wasn't anything going on as far as workshops go. People were kind of like looking at us like, good morning, hello, 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 you know. And then we found an empty conference room, so we just decided to walk in the conference room. So I'm kind of happy because I think I'll have a walking partner a little bit more. I won't be quite so lonely up on the third floor, you know. So because she asked, when do I get my most steps? And I said, on my lunch hour, you know. So I think maybe she'll try to, and you know, she's like a supervisor, so maybe she'll try to focus on taking lunch more often and, you know, getting away from her desk. So, you know, I think it'll be good. It'll be good for both of us for sure. So
congratulations, Kathy. Proud of you. Proud of you for being
Yeah.
the example. You're just the walking example of HealthPointe. Beautiful, slender, and for a number of years now. So great.
and I was thinking
Yes.
about it. I was like, holy moly, it's like been 4 years. It's kind of weird.
4 years. Wow. Well, go back, Boy Scout
It goes
pants,
so
right?
fast, you know. Yeah, it goes so fast. So
And the numbers are so easy now to remember. You know, I think of you when I think of Kathy, I remember 58 and 85. Because Carol, you pointed that out, how Kathy, you lost 58 pounds, and your husband lost 85 pounds, and I just think that's a fun, easy number, a tremendous number to remember. And yes, to now have it held off and for 4 years. Terrific. Well, going around the horn, Erica, I know you had lost some connection there, but you're back in. And so go ahead and chime in.
Good morning, everybody. Yes, I had to cut out there for a second because I timed my morning walk with a trip to the grocery store to get all my berries and fruits and organic oranges for my trip that I'm leaving on tomorrow. So I had to check out, and timing worked out perfect. I was getting a little nervous that maybe it'd be my time and I would still be in the store. So it worked out well. Congrats to everybody about all the success. It's all such exciting news and inspiring. I'm only, let's see, about 3 weeks to the program. And so anyways, I know I missed the walk-in talk last week. So I'll fill you guys in. I had a little bit of a snafu. I work for Detroit Medical Center as a wellness coordinator. I'm already active. I teach group exercise classes. For the most part, I kind of was following the HealthPointe program as far as the water, the steps, maybe not 10,000 or 15,000 every day. But I would always have like a protein snack or some sort of snack in between meals. But I had never measured carbs. And because I have a bit of a running background, I was stuck on this thought that I had to cling on to the carbs in order to have energy to do my classes and to make it through the day. So it was probably week 2.5 or so. And I had a subscription to this company called Hungry Root. It's basically a grocery delivery service. And I thought I had paused it, but one order had come through, and it's, you know, healthy, organic. I try and do kind of lower carb anyways, but it still came with, you know, this chicken patty that was mixed with brown rice, and it had this bean salad that's delicious. So I was, you know, kind of sneaking those things in and thinking that I was, hey, I'm already in this space. I'm already healthy. I don't have quite a bit of weight to lose. My goal is like 15, maybe 20 pounds, mainly looking at decreasing percent body fat. And so, I had a few, you know, I had a bean salad and I had a chicken patty that had some rice in it. And then all of a sudden the next day, I had this huge craving, and I was down maybe six or 7 pounds from when I had started. So I thought I was on this great roll and that I could do this little cheat, and one binge of like some gluten-free crackers turned into a bowl of chocolate, chocolate cereal, this Rice Krispie cereal. In my mind, I was telling Eric that, you know, I justified it because I pay $7 or $8 for this small box of cereal because it's Mother's Best and there's no high fructose corn syrup and whatever. Still loaded with sugar. And so the next day, I couldn't believe it. I was back up my 5 pounds or so and back to 150 and frustrated. And like we've all just attested to, Eric's excellent coaching kind of helped me dial it back in. And, you know, he told me, hey, it's just a season. You're not going to have to eat like this for the rest of your life. You'll have times where, you know, and it's nice to hear today, hey, Carol had some ice cream yesterday. In my mind, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to have ice cream again. So anyways, and I really dialed it in a little bit more than I was. So I wasn't weighing my meat. I was doing maybe 5-6 ounces sometimes. So Eric kind of helped me dial it back to the 4 ounces. And initially, you know, like the psychological part of it where I was at lunch and having this turkey burger and cutting 1 ounce or maybe 2 ounces off the end. It just felt a little ridiculous. But I will report today that I'm right back on track. I think I'm 20 days in and almost 7 pounds down. Ooh. And my body fat just looks so much better. I used to feel more bloated. And I did have a C-section with my son. So my lower abdomen, I've been doing therapy exercises to kind of tighten everything up. But this 7 pounds of, you know, fat loss, to me really shows. And I was trying on my bathing suits for my trip to South Haven tomorrow and packing and figuring out my outfits. I always like to try things on before I actually pack them to make sure the outfit and shoes look good. And everything just fits so good. And the bathing suits were fitting better. And I'm just feeling great. So thank you guys. Thank you, Eric. That's kind of a report on a snafu and then back on track.
Hey, that's a great story. And we all can relate, right? I mean, on a journey, it's literally a journey, and it's going to have it's really just a straight line. And I think particularly for you, Erica, because you've got an eye on coaching, don't you feel better equipped as a future coach having this little bit of a snafu? I mean, it makes you human. You can relate to other people, right?
Absolutely, 100%. And I still have those thoughts that come up, you know, here and there. Like even, you know, this weekend, people are going to be going for ice cream and probably having more drinks than usual. And I feel so good today and I have so much energy. I forget who had mentioned, but it's like, you know, I'm almost not really wanting to have it because I don't want to ruin my progress. And one thing that I also noticed the last few days, I don't know if anyone else experienced this. I was somebody who always absolutely needed 8 hours of sleep, sometimes 8.5. And I'd be woken up. I'd always have to set my alarm and my alarm would wake me up. But the last 3 or 4 days, I've been waking up on my own, maybe an hour before my alarm with just clarity and energy. And it's great. And it just kind of is surprising to me because I was already eating organic, but I would have grapes and I would have apples and watermelon and some, which I know was like a little higher sugar, but in my mind, I was burning it off with exercise. But really kind of tailoring back and keeping an eye and measuring and tracking the carbs and sugars is like an eye-opening experience.
Yes. Yeah. And boy, you know, what you're talking about in terms of just waking up fresh, I think we could go around the horn and everybody could relate to that. And it's one of the huge benefits. And Eric, I know you're reading that Dr. Palmer book. And for guys, if you ever want to start getting a bit of a deep dive into the understanding and the value of the HealthPointe program in terms of mental health, definitely check out Dr. Chris Palmer. And so, yeah, we could spend some time on this, which we don't have this morning, but long story short, definitely clarity, mental clarity, increased energy, reduction of, what we often term brain fog. Wow, is that a great benefit to all of us in this program. So excellent. Well, Erica, thank you so much for that. That is a awesome little blip on your journey here, and a awesome recovery. Great job, great job. Going around the horn to, let's see. Oh, we've got Hank on here. We've got Jennifer, if you care to share. And then let's see, we've got Linda on here in case she wants to share. And Larry, of course. So how about we go Larry and then Hank, and then we'll go from there. If you're there,
okay.
Larry. All right.
Hi, everybody. Hey, Eric. And hey, now that David has exposed me, I hope I give hope to the rest of the group. Okay. As David, and one thing I would like to say is that, hey, be honest with your coach. Tell them the truth. As David told me when we were starting, if anything goes past your lips, then write it down in your journal because you ate it. Okay, so I'm just saying that honesty is a good policy.
Yeah,
it's helped me so far. And the other thing is that I'm not 100%er 100% of the time. I'm 100%er, say 95% of the time. So for those of you that are struggling with a few things, and the other thing is that I was at a graduation dinner the other day. So I had that same challenge of, okay, we have all this food in front of us. What do I do? But, what I've started to do is, as David had said when he was starting out with Chris, he showed her a plate, and, and you still can make your plate look like a HealthPointe plate, so many vegetables, so much protein, you can still make your plate look like a HealthPointe plate when you're eating out. As Erica said, it's those little cravings when I want those little other things that I have too. So, you have to be careful about those. And eventually you get to the point where you prepare yourself ahead of time, where you have things ahead of time and you eat before you go. So you're not really hungry from that very start. And the one last thing I want to say before I go is don't forget your vitamins. When we start off all our clients, we start them off with the double X as part of the vitamins that they take to help them out with the program. So everybody usually starts out that way, but a lot of times people want to vary and go to different things afterwards. So I talk to them about, I can't guarantee you the results if you're not using the things that we recommend for you. So, hey, that's all I had to add. And for all you 95%ers like me, keep going. You can do it.
I love it, Larry. So good. And just know that we want to hang out with you, Larry.
You got it.
My friends like me so much, they always invite me to dinners and stuff. I think they need a good eater.
I love it. Oh, and so true on the supplements. And something that I'll chime in real quick here on some tips and tricks, and then we'll go to again, Linda, if you care to share, and then Jennifer, if you care to share, and then Linda, and then Hank. But a couple of things here. First, I mentioned, of course, I'm riding a bike here, and I guess that's a tip or trick. You know, what in HealthPointe we talk about steps, and a lot of times we'll just refer to that as movement. And the great thing about walking and steps is it's very sustainable. Whether you're walking back and forth in a hallway in your home or whether you're outside, it's very sustainable. If you're traveling, you know, it's sustainable. You can look around your hotel and find some areas you can walk. So in other words, it's not like you need a lot of, you don't need a gym, you don't need a bunch of equipment, and it's wonderful. But if somebody has, you know, maybe they have knee issues and maybe walking might be a little bit difficult, or in my case, I have deer fly issues and I get attacked by the deer flies, you know, we could just mix it up. Again, we're trying to get movement. And so that's one tip and trick I wanted to comment on. And the other one is, you know, we are coming into the 4th of July, and, you know, in HealthPointe, we have things that come into our schedule that are planned, like we know about them, like birthday parties, 4th of July, holidays, stuff like that. And then we have the unplanned, you know, where somebody brings in, you know, a huge box of donuts into the office or something like that, and we didn't expect it. So on the planned ones, again, we've got the 4th of July coming up. A couple of things I would comment about that is the first tenet of HealthPointe that we often like to say is, first of all, don't be weird, okay? So if somebody is having some ice cream and you want a little ice cream or something, have it, you know, but just don't have, you know, the bucket full, and plan for it. The other thing, and I heard somebody mention this, I think Larry, you mentioned it, is a very solid tip is to snack on some protein before, you know, you go to that ice cream store or before you go to that planned thing. And what that will do is that will stabilize your blood sugar, excuse me, so that you're not going into that birthday party, you know, famished, low blood sugar, and just wanting to devour the entire, you know, buffet table. The third thing I would say is to bookend it. You know, if you know you're going to be going to a birthday party or some event, and it might be a little bit off the rails, do a bookend that is the day before and the day after. Step it up literally. So be super clean, super tight on the day before, and get in, you know, say 20-30% more movement. And then the day after, be super clean, super tight, and step it up literally on your steps. So you bookend it. If your event is on a Saturday, then really dial it in on Friday and really dial it in on Sunday, and bookend that and kind of mitigate the impact of that. And the last thing I would comment on, because this is one that Emily and I, well, I'll just speak for myself, I could really relate or kind of had issues with, was that when you're with friends or in a social environment or at a restaurant, I used to be just kind of shy about commenting that I was, you know, kind of on a healthy eating program. And wow, when I finally opened up and would just ask the wait staff or comment to the wait staff, or if we were out with friends, you know, to comment to them, hey, you know, I'm kind of on a healthy program right now. And so, you know, my choice is to not have a cocktail, or to, you know, Emily and I are going to split a little small dessert or something like that. Not only was it well received, that was a thing that I was really encouraged by, is the wait staff. They're like, oh yes, let me do this. Let me, you know, split your entree up. Or the friends would often ask questions, like very supportive, and they would be interested, you know, and wanting to learn more. So something that I was a little bit shy about really became more of a positive. So don't be afraid to tell your friends that, hey, this is why you're going out and getting some walking in the morning, or this is the reason I'm ordering this way. And I think you'll find a lot of support. So that's my comments. And with that, we will go around. Oh, I think you're muted, Dave. I hear you. I see you talking, but you might be muted.
Very quick. One area is very athletic. Another is based on steps, and you can ask Larry for more information on this. I'm just a novice, but he has some way of converting his swimming, because he does like 40 laps or something ridiculous, and he converts it over to steps. Anyways, if you're doing something that's not walking, I think Larry is aware of conversion tables to kind of help you stay in the step modality. Anyways, I know nothing, but Larry knows a lot.
Hey, that's great. Yeah, Larry, if you have any resources or anything else like that, and maybe we can look it up. That's great, because swimming, biking, other movement activities, it's all great. So, Jennifer, if you care to chime in, you're welcome to. Don't feel obligated if you don't want to. I'll kind of watch for your mute or unmute a bit here. Looks like you're unmuting. So Jennifer, if you care to speak, welcome. And what's on your mind?
So good morning. I just want to comment on the blood glucose issue as a type 2 diabetic. Before I started HealthPointe, my blood sugars would be in like the 240s as a fasting blood sugar. And with the HealthPointe, when I'm following the plan, not doing the 2.0 version, it's like 130, between 97 and 130. So there's a big difference between following the plan and not.
Wow.
That's
Jennifer,
huge.
That's
yes, huge.
why didn't we start the meeting with you, Jennifer? That's it. We could have started and stopped the walk and talk on that. No, that is, since this program is so much about blood sugar, diabetes, type 2 diabetes, and our ability to really learn and take control of it, to hear your story, Jennifer, is just phenomenal. So 240-ish down to the low 100s, even the sub 100s is what I'm hearing from you. Does that sound about right?
That is correct.
Wow.
You know what I love about Jennifer? She's a one-liner. That was a blockbuster. A few weeks ago, she said, I think it was Jennifer that said, love your body and it'll love you back. I mean, that made the HealthPointe post. Jennifer, you are a great one-liner.
You are.
How funny. I think that one was Kim's one-liner, but yes, I am. I'm not that big on words. So
It was Kim, but you gals both work together, so you probably are in the same synergy group. So you're both part of my amazing team. So there we go.
You pick them good, Kathy.
That is so great. Wow. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Again, we've got Linda on here. If you care to speak, wonderful. If not, no worries. I'll keep an eye on the mute, unmute button there. Right now, it's still staying muted, which is totally fine. Moving around the horn, then we will go to Linda, if you care to share. And Linda, welcome and good morning.
Good morning. Well, I would just like to share a little bit this morning. I just got back from a cruise to Alaska, and I would encourage everybody to put that on their bucket list. It was on mine. It was just absolutely incredible. But what I wanted to talk about today, I went with my daughter, and I said to Joni when we were on the cruise, we did a land and then a cruise package. You know, HealthPointe is about choices. And it made me just so appreciative of everything that I've learned in HealthPointe over the years. And, you know, sometimes I think people think that you're limited and you really can't enjoy life in certain ways because of HealthPointe, and that just really isn't true. It was amazing to watch people and see what happens. You know, when you talk about a cruise, one of the things that always comes up is the food. You know, how awesome it is and how much there is. Well, you know, you can make choices, and it was interesting. They had, of course, a wonderful buffet that was open all day long, or you can choose to go in the dining room where you order off of the menu. And we commented, that when you went in the dining room, which we did, we went in the buffet the first night, first time we were on the ship because of the timing of the thing. But then we ate in the dining room all the time. And you could choose appropriately what you wanted to eat. I did not feel limited at all. And Joni and I commented in the dining room that the proportions were very appropriate, so you could really enjoy all that wonderful food, but in proper portions. And it was just interesting. You could eat the right things for breakfast instead of having all these wonderful things that were on the menu, but you could eat a great breakfast, but eat appropriately. And I will have to say that when they take your order, or at least for us on this cruise, when they took your order, they took your dessert selections right when you were picking your first foods. And I said to somebody, well, you're not waiting until after the meal to see if we want dessert. No, they picked it. They put it out there in front. And I will have to say that we had the desserts every evening, but they were in proper portions. And, you have access to walking, getting off of the ship and walking, or there were decks on the ship that were actually, they said, this is great for people who like to walk and get in extra steps. So it was really interesting. And so I remarked to Joni when I got home, of course, I had no scale on the cruise to step on every morning like I do when I'm home. But immediately when I got home, I stepped on my scale and had not gained 1 pound, even though I had those desserts on the cruise. So I think sometimes people think that HealthPointe just limits you with what you can do and what you can enjoy. And I don't think that's a proper way to look, at least I've experienced, that's not a proper way to look at it, because HealthPointe gives you choices, but we learn to make healthy choices. So that's just what I would like to share for today.
Wow. Guys, did we get a treat there from Linda or what? There's so much that could be unpacked there. I know, Carol, you talk about often, it's not what you lose, it's what you gain. And first of all, Linda, I'd love to go on an Alaskan cruise. That sounds wonderful.
That's fantastic. I'm a beach girl, as Carol knows, but I'm telling you, the scenery was just unbelievable. I am so glad that that we got to do that. It was awesome.
That is so great. And to have such a wonderful time, to feel great, to have energy, to partake in, the food options, but in, proper proportions, to have that control, to have those skill sets, to come back and be at the same healthy weight that you were when you left. There's so much there, because I think you're so right. And many of us have experienced this ourselves and with others, is that there's such a connotation, such a mindset with people, and I say with people, this was myself as well, that you're going on this diet. There's going to be deprivation, it's going to be horrible, and this is, oh my gosh, I don't even want to start because this is going to be a horrible way to live. And slowly but surely, sometimes with some help and some guidance and some, to reframe things, and then you just experience it. You go, this is not deprivation. Right. This is glorious. This is energy. This is clarity of mind. This is movement and able to pursue passions in life, because you're not dragged down from all the ramifications of poor health. And wow, what a great story. So thank you so much, Linda. That is so great. Coming around the horn to Hank and then we'll wrap unless anybody wants to chime in after Hank. But Hank, if you're still on. I think you're unmuted. Love to hear from you.
Hello, Eric. Always great to listen to you guys and getting all the stories. I just want to share a story because at this time last week, Carol and I were up in Michigan for the Zampa family reunion. Well, we had over 90 people coming from many different states and even Canada, and it was awesome. And Saturday morning, before this gathering on all kinds of food that was out there, Saturday morning, my son Craig says, "Dad, I want to take you out for Father's Day breakfast because we didn't get together. I was not up there at the time." So he says, "Okay, let's go." He says, "Where do you want to go?" I says, "Well, it's up to you. You pick it." He picked a restaurant called The Laundry up in Fenton, Michigan, which is well known for, boy, I'll tell you, you eat that food forever, you're going to end up weighing a ton, So we went there, excuse me, and I was looking through the menu, and boy, some of that stuff was like steak and eggs and strawberry cheesecake pancakes, and oh, wow. But then I spotted something called huevos motuleños. Now, my Spanish is kind of rusty right now, but I'm just sharing with you how, many years ago, I lost 25 pounds and I brought my cholesterol down from 220 to 160, which was just checked recently. And so I've been on long-term maintenance for a long time. And next month, August, I'll be 90 years old, okay? And
All right.
I feel great. But I spotted something called this huevos motuleños, and my son says, "Ooh, what's that?" I said, "Well, I'll tell you what, it sounds the healthiest of anything on here." So, and I'll read it for you. I'm looking at the menu right now. 2 crispy corn tortillas topped with slow-cooked frijoles, which is beans, right? Over easy eggs, salsa roja, that's red, fresh avocado, cotija is a type of a cheese like a feta cheese, diced onions, and cilantro. I ordered that, so he says, "Oh, I'll try it." And I'll tell you what, it was awesome. And my son says, "I got to come back and get that again." It was so good, and yet it was healthy. So what I'm saying is, and ties in with what many of you said already, you're not, restricting yourself from eating good food. When you're long-term maintenance, you've got down to where you need to be. And it was an awesome breakfast, and it tasted so good. If I'm ever back up there again, I've got to go back and get it, and maybe I'll try to make it myself. I don't know if that's possible or not. So anyway, I want to share that story with you. You can enjoy food, good food, and I always go back to my daily smoothies, which is blueberries. And Eric, I'm going to send you a couple of articles about what blueberries do for your system. They are awesome articles, extra videos, and I'll shoot them out to you. You can share it with the folks. And it's my blueberry shakes every morning with our superfood from Nutrilite, with the powdered chocolate protein powder, and also sweet greens. I put a scoop of sweet greens in there and maybe a banana or half an apple or whatever, and just shake it all up with some good perfect water. So that maintains my weight, makes me satisfied with my vitamins, and I'll tell you what, great way to live, and I love it. So just wanted to share. I have other stories I can share with you maybe next week, but things that happen on the flights. And it's been, you just got to enjoy life. Life is good out there. Just, I don't care what issues you may have. I have a few issues with my left foot sometimes, but hey, I work with that and work around it. And Carol makes sure I do. But it's good, as I could tell you. Once you get to where you want to be and stay there with knowing how to eat and eat properly, it's a great life. So I hope that helped. Good to talk to all of you.
Wow. That's when we grow up, we all want to be just like Hank. That is so awesome. 90 years old and just sharp as a tack, vibrant, enjoying life. And, you know, don't many of us know individuals that are literally half his age that are, again, they're deprived, you know, they're not able to enjoy life and go to family reunions and do the things and have the vibrancy that Hank has at 90. And it's just a testament again to the program. Guys, if anybody else has anything they want to chime in on, feel free to. Otherwise, we will go ahead and do a wrap on this. For me, guys, I don't know how everybody else feels, but I mean, I enjoy these every Saturday. Absolutely love these get-togethers. But wow, this one has been power-packed. This has been a lot of great fun content in here. So thank you, everyone, so much. And if there's nothing else, we will put a wrap on this, and everybody have a great rest of their Saturday.
All right. Yeah. Hey, everybody have a good
Happy
Saturday.
4th of July, everybody.
Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th to everybody. Enjoy it.
All right.
Bye.
Yeah.